Hey, it is 12 noon on Friday, which means it's time for this week's episode of State of Real Estate. I'm John Chrismo, and this show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. What we do every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time is Mastermind to take your business to the next level. And I really want to try to encompass that today about this whole mindset of taking your business, your life, whatever element, these topics you could apply across the board, whether it may be your business, that may be where most applicable to you, or your life, or however it applies, but taking it to that next level. When you want more, actually getting there and getting that more that you're searching for. So stick with us. We've got a great show for you guys today. I'm excited to bring it to you. We'll be back after this quick break.
You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate. Hey, welcome to State of Real Estate. My name is John Chrismo, and the show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. What we do every Friday is we open up this live stream to our current students, to our past students, as well as our future students who want to find out how to grow things, how to take their business to the next level, how to start their business, how to go from not having any business to having a thriving real estate business. And that's what we talk about in various topics across every single Friday. We've been doing the show for over a year now. You can go on our Success Center. That's tampaschool.com/success. tampaschool.com/success. That's our Success Center. You're going to be able to find the full recording of today's episode as well as all of our previous episodes at tampaschool.com/success. If this is your first time tuning in, absolutely make sure you check that out. That's tampaschool.com/success. It's our Success Center. It's where we help you plan for your success because we want to see you be successful in the real estate industry. That's how we get referral business. That's how we get repeat business. You could talk to any of our previous students and they'll reassure you that there's no one out there that does more for their students than Tampa School of Real Estate. But now that we've got that all out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about today's topic. Today's topic of going to the next level. And this could be if you're already, and we're going to talk specifically in real estate. This is State of Real Estate, so it's a real estate show. It's focused around your real estate business, but you could apply the same concepts that we're talking about in multiple areas of your life, not just your business, and not even just a real estate business, but any business. So when your first step is really having the vision, having an understanding of where it is that you want to go, what it is that you want to achieve. Because if you don't know what it is that you want to achieve, so for instance, let's take real estate for example and make this a little bit more tactile. Let's say that you're like, oh, I want to get my real estate license. Well, why do you want to get your real estate license? What are you doing with that real estate license? What's your end goal for getting the real estate license? And if you're not sure, it's unlikely that you're going to actually see that goal through to the end. If you're not unsure of what the end result is going to be, you're very likely to get fizzled out and get overwhelmed and just, say, this isn't for me, let me go try something else without any end goal in mind. So I know it gets difficult sometimes to see clearly to the finish line, but just think if you're running some sort of race. If this is a long race, if this is a race that goes on for years, you're not going to be able to visually see the finish line. But maybe you know what direction it is that you need to go. Maybe you see where the first turn is and you're like, okay, I got to get to that first turn. Then I'll go to the next turn. Then I'll go to the next turn. But you probably won't see where the very end is. But the further it is that you could see out, if you see, okay, well, the starting line is here and the finish line is here, rather than going like this, I could just go straight to where it is that I'm heading. But, if you're getting your real estate license, that's basically like you showing up at this race and saying, hey, look at all these people here that are runners. This running thing looks cool. Let me hang out here with these runners and, check this out, see what's going on here. Oh, man, now they're running? That looks tough. You know what? Nah, I don't want to do this. I don't know where they're going, but, that running thing, that just looks a little difficult. Yeah, I'm not a runner. If I showed up at some sort of foot race or marathon or whatever it may be, just because, I thought, it seems cool, that I wouldn't even show up to something like that, because the only reason I would maybe want to do something like that is like, okay, I want to get to the end. I want to be able to finish this. I want to be able to get a certain time. I don't know. I'm not a runner, but you get the idea. When you don't have that end goal that you're seeking out and searching for, and it doesn't have to be the very end. You don't have to be envisioning out what your life's going to look like 50 years from now, but let's think 5 years ahead. Let's think 1 year ahead. This year in 2018, what is it that you're looking to accomplish? Not just getting the real estate license, but now how many homes are you looking to sell? What type of homes is it that you're looking to sell? Where are you looking to sell these homes? And now, importantly, what is it that you're doing with that money that you're generating all this for? Because having these little wins along the way really don't mean anything unless you know what these wins are taking you to. Like, you hit that first turn in the race, and you're like, okay, I'm a quarter of the way there. I'm halfway there. So you get these little wins along the way that motivates you to keep pushing towards your end goal that you're looking for. But again, this all goes back to you've got to have a clear understanding of why it is that you're doing what you're doing. Maybe you already have your real estate license and you've already been practicing real estate for some time. Let's say you have your real estate license. Maybe you've had your license for a year or 2 years or 3 years, and you're doing okay. But you look at some of the agents out there, they're the top agents in your market, and you say, wow, how do they do that? Well, first off, they envision. It doesn't just happen. You could stumble into a little bit of success, a few wins here and there. Knowing enough people, talking to enough people that know you're in real estate, and opportunities start to arise, and then you just kind of really just have to put in a little bit of effort to seize those opportunities, and you could turn that into something. But if you want to really now get to the top game, and we're talking about, going to that next level. So you got to understand the level it is that you're at now and what that next level is that you're looking at. Because if you're a one-man show and you're doing okay, maybe you're making $100,000 a year, but you're like, man, I'd like to make $250,000. I'd like to make $500,000. I'd like to make $1 million in a year. And that's possible. There's plenty of agents that are out there doing that. But you're not going to just end up making $1 million just by chance. Or you could be burning your butt off, working 80 hours a week, running in all gears, not having any social life, not having any free time, just devoting almost 100% of your time to business, and then whatever remaining time, eating some food here and there and sleeping. You could be doing that and can be completely burning yourself out and not being able to hit that $250,000 or $500,000 or whatever that may be. Because it's about taking the right actions. It's not just about taking actions. It's about taking the right actions when you're trying to move forward. Now notice how this is different. When you're first starting out, it's just about kind of taking some actions, but the least common denominator across this, whether you're trying to maximize your business or just start your business, is you have to have an idea of what it is that you're looking to do, where it is that you're looking to go, and what it is that you're ultimately going to do when you win. It's not like, oh, wow, I've got this money now, what should I do with it? I've got a client, what should I do with it? You got to think this through on so many different levels. Not just the overall, okay, I want to do real estate, sell houses in this area so I can make money, so I could do this, so I could go on this vacation, so I could do this for my family, so I could send my kids to private school, so I could buy this new car, so I could maybe hire an assistant, and then we're talking about something, maybe reinvest in the business, all these things here, maybe growing your business, how this affects your personal life. You've got to have an understanding of, okay, I want to be able to do this, and that, so you know the reason why you're doing some of these things that might seem difficult, that might seem hard, where you might start to feel overwhelmed. And you know where overwhelmingness gets to you? When you start feeling very overwhelmed, where you're ready to quit, you're ready to throw in the towel, that overwhelmingness comes from not having clear direction. And sometimes you can't just rely on yourself to give yourself the direction. Because if you're brand new to real estate, or even if you've been in real estate for 10 years, there's still stuff that you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. So sometimes you've got to bring in some outside information, some outside help to help get you towards that end goal. Say you're running that race again. You going back to that analogy, you're running this race, and you don't know which way to go. Maybe there's a fork in the road and you've got to go this way or you've got to go that way. You've got two options, really. And one of those options isn't sit there and think about it and weigh the pros and cons. Your two options when you're at a crossroads and you're trying to figure out what to do, either A, seek out help, try to find somebody that'll help you tell you which road to go down. Or if you know both roads, they might both lead to something good, just go down a road. Just make a decision. You need to be the CEO of your business. So even as a sales associate, you're still running a business. It's your business. You're a business within a business. So having that direction and making decisions and moving yourself forward will help you avoid that feeling of burning out, of being overwhelmed and not knowing what to do. When you start making decisions, and yes, not every decision is going to be perfect. So if you're sitting there trying to analyze every single last bit and figure out, okay, well, if I do this, then this, and this is the opportunity cost here, and running numbers and spending hours or days or weeks trying to make a decision, you could have already made a decision, found out it's the wrong decision, and tried the other decision and already made some money with that other decision in the time if you're spending weeks trying to analyze this and figure it out and deciding what it is that you want to do. So you kind of got to weigh this a little bit. Yeah, you might want to spend a few minutes thinking about something, but I mean exactly that, a few minutes, 2, 3, maybe 5 minutes at the most. And if it's a simple decision, it doesn't need to be that long. And if it's a decision where you're stuck making this, sometimes you just got to ask yourself, is this really a decision I have to make? Is this something I have to decide right now? Or are there more important things that I need to be doing that's helping me, that's going to be better at getting me towards my end goal? And that's why you have to have that end goal in mind, because that's where you need to start asking yourself, hey, is this helping me move to my end goal? Is there something better I could be doing to help me move me to my end goal? And you've got to understand what your end goal is. You've got to understand the process getting to it, of getting to that next level. We'll call that end goal the next level. When you're trying to get to that next level, you have to know what it is you need to do to get to that next level. And when you find yourself starting to get sidetracked, starting to get distracted, starting to have other things that are pushing you away, maybe there's these little water stands on the sides of races. There's these little water stands. You're like, ooh, some water would be nice. And you're hanging out there. Ooh, yeah, this water is really nice. I'm going to just hang out here. Oh, look, this person's giving out the water. They're pretty friendly. Let me talk to them. And if you get caught up here hanging out at this water stand, you'll never finish the race. And that's what happens when you're running your own business. You need to manage yourself. You need to keep yourself on track. You need to make sure that what you're doing is actually helping you achieve the goal it is that you want. That there's time for fun, there's time for play, there's maybe once you finish the race, you go hang out with the water cooler people. But when you're trying to get something done, maybe you stop real quick and get your water because maybe you need water, you need to continue moving. Maybe there's something urgent that pops up that has to be taken care of. Get that taken care of. Don't lag on it for too long. Make any quick decisions it is that you need to make, and then move along. And then again, you could ask yourself, do I even need to make this decision now? Is this even something that urgent, or can I wait till the end of the week so I could do all these kind of tasks, or maybe to the end of the day? Because let's say you're calling clients, and you're calling clients that you've been showing homes to that you haven't really done anything with. Let's say you have a list of clients that you haven't heard from them in a few days, so you want to give them a call and touch base with them. And you have a whole list of clients, and you're trying to group this all together. So you want to make all these calls back to back to back to back to back, get that all done, group that together. And then when you have these things that pop up that weren't part of, okay, this is my calling hour. This is my calling hour, because making these calls are making sure I'm not losing the clients. So to stress the kind of importance of making these calls to clients it is that you're working with that maybe you haven't dealt with in a few days, that you're wondering if they're still alive, they're maybe wondering if you're still alive. You want to just give a quick little touch base with them. So that way they don't fall in the hands of another agent. So that way they don't do something where you end up losing them as a client. So by touching base with them, finding out what's going on, getting information, building up that relationship, you're solidifying the relationship, and they may not be ready to buy right this second, but you're solidifying the relationship. You're saying, hey, I just haven't heard from you in a few days. I just want to see how you guys are feeling about those houses we looked at this weekend. Let them talk. I should have phrased that a little bit better. I would have said something like, how are you feeling about those houses we saw this weekend? Notice how my inflection and my tone kind of changed there. How are you feeling about those houses we saw this weekend? And now we give them a chance to talk. And say, okay, well, are you thinking you like any of those ones, or did you want to see a few more? Where are you guys at? Talk to me. So that way you're building the relationship. You're getting communication. So much frustration. And this is, again, understanding the goal it is that you need to achieve overall of selling homes. Now we're talking about the mini steps, the mini processes, working through just a single client. Because in order to move this client through the steps to eventually get a sale from this particular client, you need to stay in touch with them. If you stop communicating with them, they're probably not going to buy a home, or at least not from you. They'll go find somebody else that will communicate with them. They might think something happened to you. Maybe they think that you're too busy for them. Maybe they think that you're just a bad realtor. Who knows what it is that they're thinking? But when you're not communicating and having clear, honest, open communication, if you don't have that, you're likely to lose them as a client, or at least not understand them as a client. I've seen so many agents that get burnt out on a client that they're dreading the phone calls they get when they get a phone call from a particular client. They say, oh no, not this guy again, not this girl again. What do they want now? Been talking, and you know, you hear that this is very common in real estate. There's a lot of people who like to complain in real estate, but complaints don't solve anything. The complaints don't solve anything. Now, what you have to do is get to the root of the problem. Why would I be complaining about this particular client? Why am I feeling burnt out about this particular client? Why did the client want to buy this home when they told me they wanted to buy this home? Well, if that's the case, you didn't do a good enough job getting down to the details, pulling out the details and really doing your fact finding and probing them to find out what really would be the best home for them. Maybe they're thinking they want a 3-bedroom home, but you do ask some questions, you do a little probing, and you find out, you both come to the decision that, okay, yeah, the 4-bedroom home is going to be better. And you could go through the long process of showing them 25 homes or 20 homes or 30 homes, and then they say, you know what, these just feel too small. Let's go take a look at a 4-bedroom. And if you've been showing them 25 3-bedroom homes, you might be inclined to say, why didn't you tell me you wanted to see a 4-bedroom instead of just a 3-bedroom? But when you're soliciting feedback after every showing, after every interaction, when you're soliciting feedback saying, hey, what do you think about this house? Think it's too big? Think it's too small? Do you like the color? Do you like the backyard? Do you like the location? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? Maybe ask some open-ended questions as well, so it's not just yes, no. The yes or no's are good to kind of start the dialogue, get them going, but then try to get them to open up for you and give you some words that you could latch onto. And they start saying, well, you know, if we want somebody to sleep on the couch, well, why would you want somebody to sleep on the couch when we could, you know, maybe do that 4th bedroom or whatever it is that triggers you to say, aha, light bulb goes off. And you could catch this early. The early detection, not only is it great in medical science, it's great in real estate as well. You want to early detect problems. That's what makes a great real estate professional a great real estate professional, is they're able to detect early. You know, I don't think this area is right for you. I don't think this home is right for you. I don't think this size is right for you. I don't think this style you're looking for is right for you, or whatever it is that they maybe think it is that they want. And not as some people are very clear and very understanding on what it is that they're looking for out of a home. And these are typically people that have maybe purchased a few homes before. And if they're currently living somewhere now, which they should be living somewhere now, they're probably living somewhere now. Or if at least they're not living somewhere now, where did they live before? What was it they liked about that place? What was it that they did not like about the place? And you might ask, John, why would I ask about their old home? I thought we're focusing on the future, on their new home. The reason why you're asking about the old home is to do that fact finding, to find those details out. And the reason you're doing that is so you can move them through the process more efficiently and more smoothly. Not only do you want to maybe take your business to the next level, in order to take your business to the next level, so your business in real estate, if you want to maybe take it to the next level, you're maybe working with higher home prices, or let's say you're working with more clients. Now, the only way you're going to be able to work with more clients without adding any additional hours and additional time and effort on your part is to be able to move them through these steps faster. And what's going to take more time? Showing 25 homes or showing 10 homes? 10 homes. 10 homes is going to... So how do you show only 10 homes instead of 25 homes? You get a better idea of what it is that they like, what it is that they're looking for, and you ask these questions, these tough questions that at first they might feel uncomfortable asking the questions. Such as, are you sure you want something this big? Are you sure you don't want to take a look at something a little bit smaller? Or having that tough discussion is like, look, I'd love to find you a home of what you're looking for here, but in the price range that you're able to afford, we're not going to be able to find all of this, so where can we compromise? That's a difficult conversation to have. To basically say, hey, look, you don't have enough money to get what you want. What do you want to cut away? That's one of the most difficult questions to have as a discussions to have as a realtor. But having that discussion, that uncomfortable discussion, will ultimately make things clear. And when they come to terms that they're not able to get their dream homes, they're a little bit more open and a little bit more receptive to the homes it is they are looking at. So rather than looking at 25 homes, starting off with 15 that are out of their price range, to maybe then do a pre-qualification and then find out their price range is lower and then start looking at lower price homes, and you might end up showing another 15 or 20 just because they're now trying to find one that's as good as those more expensive homes they're looking at in the first place. So you got to constantly be thinking, how can I move myself through to the next level faster? Or in micro transactions, when you're dealing with a particular client, not on the macro level, on the micro level, not for your entire business, but your individual clients. How can you move them through the steps faster? How can you move them through these paces faster? How can you go from, okay, showing homes to wanting to write a contract on the homes? How can you expedite that process? Or if you're on the listing side, rather than the buying side, how do you go from property listed to property under contract faster? How do you close that gap? How do you make this happen quicker? How do you spend less time and effort on your part in this transaction? Because now that opens you up for your free time to prospect more, to market more, to get new business and work with additional clients. And now you're able to generate more income, and that's going to help you take your business to the next level. We're going to take a quick commercial break here, but when we come back, we're talking more about getting to the next level, taking your business from something to extraordinary, or from nothing to something. So stick with us. I'm John Christmer. You're watching State of Real Estate. Are you thinking about a career in real estate? Hey, I'm John Christmer with the Tampa School of Real Estate, and we've helped thousands of people just like you obtain their real estate license. If you're thinking about a career in real estate, give us a call. The phone number is 813-928-0106. Our advisors are standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way.
And state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com.
I have done for my love.
Hey, if you're enjoying the show today, which I'm sure you are, be sure to hit like, subscribe, post your comments, share with your friends and family. Thank you guys so much for watching.
You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate. Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. I'm John Christmer, and the show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. We do the show every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time to come live to our past students, our current students, as well as our future students to help take your business to the next level. Or a lot of these concepts can be applied in your life and your non-real estate businesses and all that stuff as well, but we're focused on your real estate business, the details, the things it is you should say, the things it is you should do to make more money, to deal with more clients, and overall get yourself in a better position. So let's go back to talking about let's say you're just starting out in real estate. Let's say you just got your real estate license and you're looking around and you're wondering what it is that you should do. So first thing, going back to what I was talking about at the beginning, is you want to start thinking about, okay, what's my goal? What am I trying to accomplish? I'm trying to help buyers buy property and help sellers sell property. Those are two goals it is that you have. Two things, two actions. When a buyer buys a property with you or a seller sells a property with you, you get paid. And that's ultimately what you're trying to do. You're trying to generate income. So now you have to think on the smaller scale, okay, I need to get buyers to buy, I need to get sellers to sell. But what do you have to get buyers to buy and get sellers to sell? Well, you have to have buyers and or sellers. You have to have these clients in the first place. So the more it is you start to kind of, okay, think from the end of the maze and go back to the beginning, when you reverse engineer like this, and you might remember doing like little mazes in elementary school and things like that, and you know, I would always be like, how do you figure this out? How are people figuring out this maze so quickly? I can't see where the end is. I can't see where it is them going. But then once I learned that trick of tracing from the outside, from the middle, from the center, from the end, I'm like, oh my God, this is so easy. You just got to start with the end in mind. You start from the end and you just trace your way back to the beginning. And now you're able to see all the obstacles, all the bumps and everything, and just basically get right to the beginning. So you do the same thing in your business, just in a more complicated way. It's not necessarily a little worksheet that you're just kind of drawing on there. You're thinking, okay, I want to ultimately do this. In order to do this, I need to do this, to do this, to do this, to do this, to where I am today. Okay, so now this is where I am today. Let's go through these motions. Let's accomplish these steps. Let's move clients through this process and ultimately get the seller's home sold, get a buyer's home, get a buyer to buy their home, and then now ultimately we're making money. And then you have to think of the process, okay, now that you've got money, it's not money where you're getting paid at this point. This is money that came into your business. And if you're just looking to stay small time, if you just want to live commission check to commission check, you could just pay yourself all of that money. That's okay. And you know, sometimes even when you are at the higher level business, sometimes you know that commission check, you're like, all right, that's my payday. I'm taking that. We'll put the next one into the business. I just put one into the business. So, you know, this one, I've got some expenses. I've got something I need to do. So paying myself a little bit extra. But you have to be generating that income in the first place. And now when you're thinking ahead, when you're thinking forward and you're thinking of, okay, this is that end goal it is that we're trying to achieve, we have to now take that money it is that we brought in and at least put a portion of it back into our business. You know, if you've got money to spare, I say put it all back into the business. There's a book by Damon John, Power of Broke. And really the title says it all. The power of being broke. And now, a lot of times people confuse broke with poor. Broke and poor are two completely different things. You could have a broke millionaire or a broke billionaire, whereas poor, you're not a poor millionaire or a poor billionaire, but you could be broke. You could not be able to afford something at this moment because maybe with your money, with your investments, you have your money tied up where it can't be used right now. And that's really this whole concept of the power of broke. By taking the money it is that you're generating, rather than paying yourself. Now, look, as you start to get more money rolling in, you want to have those wins. You want to be able to treat yourself. You want to be able to reward yourself, to be able to purchase new things, to get a larger place to live, to have a nicer car, and all these little things that, you know, that bring joy, that are not necessarily the sole purpose of life, but hey, if you've got, maybe you want a boat, and maybe that's one of the things it is that you want. These little things, these little wins, I mean, you can't make your life all about them, but they're nice little rewards that you get for going through this process. But those are rewards. And closing one house, you deserve a reward, but a very small reward. Maybe 2, 3, 5% of that commission. Give that to you. Go get yourself something nice. Maybe go out to a nice dinner, something like that to celebrate it. But now use that money in your commission to reinvest in your business. And this is where you want to be careful when you're investing in your business. There's great ways to invest in your business, and then there's ways that aren't so great to invest in your business. But if you're really trying to take yourself to the next level, and that next level, and the next level, you need to reinvest in, first and foremost, yourself. That would be the first thing I would invest in. If I were to start real estate all over, go back to when I first got my real estate license and closed my first deal, I would have took that money and reinvested now into myself. How can I hone my skills? How can I make myself better trained? How can I be better? Because when you're first starting out, you're a very large part of really any business. Pretty much any startup business, the founder of that business, and that's what you are in real estate. You're the founder of your real estate business. Even though you work at a brokerage, you're a business within that brokerage. So your business, you're in charge of that. And you're highly involved. And a lot of real estate agents stay highly involved, and that's okay. You can still earn a good living being highly involved, but now as you start to grow your business, you'll be less involved, because now rather than investing your time, you're able to invest money. Now, you usually get the best return on your investment with your time when you're starting out. And you could get a better investment on your time, return on investment on your time, when you invest in yourself, when you make your skills better, when you find out the things it is that you could say and do differently to ultimately make the process smoother, to better understand your clients. Take some communication classes or trainings, there's so much information available to be learned. We've got these shows that we do every Friday for free. And this is what you get for free. There's so much more intense and stuff out there that's available for purchase to learn about communication, to learn about more in depth maybe about the sales process. Maybe you're not even spending money to learn these things, but you're just talking to somebody. You're investing a little bit of your time talking to the mortgage loan officers and asking them, hey, what can I do to help expedite this, to make this easier, to ultimately make the closing better? What can I do differently? And so on and so forth. And eventually you'll get to that point where you have opportunities to market and advertise your business. And that would be reinvesting in your business as well. But what you're trying to do, what you're trying to build is a system. And you want to build the system to be more intricate, have a higher capacity, and it will break down. So you'll need to be able to fix it when it breaks down. But you're developing the system to turn leads into money. That's your system, turning leads into commissions. And now it's you got to remember with this, it's not just about you and the commission money it is that you're generating. In order for this process to work, you have to achieve the buyer's or the seller's goals as well. So that's another angle you could look at this. Your system, your system kind of splits off. It diverts money to you, and it diverts a home to your buyer. It diverts money to your seller when they sell their home. So this is what your system's trying to accomplish. And the better it is that you understand your system, the more efficient it is that you make your system, the faster it is that you'll be able to ramp up your business and go from making $1 million to $250,000, or from $100,000 to $1 million. To make those jumps, it's going to happen incrementally. You're not going to stumble into this, but as you start to build out your business, maybe you build a real estate team. Really, anytime you've got more than just yourself involved, you're a team. Everyone talks about these teams. Every sales associate, at least in Florida, is a team. They're a team of themselves as well as their broker. Your broker's somebody on your team. Any administrators that you have in your office that are helping you with the paperwork, helping this deal get processed, they're on your team. Your closing companies, the title agency, they're part of your team. Your mortgage lenders, the mortgage loan originators, they're on your team. And sometimes some deals you get substitutions from not your regular A team of your regular main people that you normally deal with, and that happens. But what you're doing as a real estate professional, again, going back to understanding what it is that you do so you can understand what it is you have to do and to maximize to generate more income, you're in charge of this team. So you're already in charge of all these people. If you start adding on more sales associates to be a real team as you normally see teams advertised in real estate, you've already been managing other people. You're maybe a little bit more highly involved in managing the agents it is that you're teaming up with, if you're your team leader or whatever that may be. But first, before you can even think about doing any of that, before you think about anything, you've got to get yourself in the process. And, it takes a little bit of knowledge it is that you need to have to understand, okay, I need to go this direction. But let's say you're showing up for a race. And, this is the first race that you've ever ran. And you're just interested in running this race because you want to be able to finish a race. If that's your mindset, you're not thinking about buying the most expensive shoes so you could run 1/10 of a second faster. You're probably not even thinking about maybe even training to be able to even finish this race. But with enough perseverance, with enough dedication, it might take you might finish last, but you could still finish that race. You could still finish. But now when you show up for your second race, you're like, okay, how can I finish faster? How can I make this race go quicker? That's essentially what you're doing when you're working with clients. You do your first one, you're just trying to get through it. The next one, let's get through it a little bit quicker. The next one, let's get through it a little bit quicker, a little bit smoother. And you keep refining your technique, refining your process, refining your communication, and making yourself better so you're able to finish these races quicker. That you're not just sitting there, letting others run by you and nothing ultimately is happening. Because that's not taking you to the next level. So you have to constantly be thinking about making yourself a little bit more uncomfortable. That first race, even though you don't have all this extra stuff we talked about in mind, that first deal it is that you're doing, you're going to feel overwhelmed. When you first start talking to potential leads, you're going to feel overwhelmed. But the more leads it is that you talk to, and the key thing here is you have to understand why you're doing this. If you don't understand why you're doing this, why you're talking to these leads, you have to know that you're talking to leads to get business, to get clients, to get contracts, to get paid. Oh, that's why I'm talking to these leads. So you're talking to these leads, and sometimes it may feel like you're talking to somebody that may be a waste of your time. When maybe it's not that they're a waste of your time, that you just have to better understand them and understand how they could fit into your business and fit into your process. Because the better it is that you understand this and the better it is you're able to execute these mini tasks, the more likely it is that you're going to take your business to the next level. We're going to take another quick commercial break here, but when we come back, we're talking more about taking your real estate business to the next level. Stick with us. I'm John Chrismo. You're watching State of Real Estate.
Are you thinking about a career in real estate? Hey, I'm John Chrismo with the Tampa School of Real Estate, and we've helped thousands of people just like you obtain their real estate license. If you're thinking about a career in real estate, give us a call. The phone number is 813-928-0106. Our advisors are standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way they can. Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com.
I have done for my love.
Hey, if you're enjoying the show today, which I'm sure you are, be sure to hit like, subscribe, post your comments, share with your friends and family. Thank you guys so much for watching.
You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate. Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. I'm John Chrismo, and this show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. We do the show every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time for our past, our current, and our future students to help you mastermind to know what you need to do once you have your real estate license. So often we see agents, and didn't take their class with us, that go out and they've got their license and they're just completely lost. And the real estate industry, if you don't have proper direction, if you don't have saying, hey, go that way, go in that direction, do this, do enough of that, and it'll result in some business. Sometimes you just need that initial little push. You just need that little bit of, hey, go do this. And just that little bit there, you're able to, okay, I'm going in this direction here, and that helps you get towards your end goal quicker. But when you just start getting overwhelmed with things, you start seeing this and that and this decision and that decision, and you're like, what am I even doing? I don't know what I'm doing. It's a very common feeling when you're brand new in real estate. So again, that's why you want a little bit of direction. And if you're still unsure, maybe a little bit more of direction. But if you're still unsure, just start making decisions. At that point, once you've had a little bit of a direction to go in, you're like, okay, I need to do a little bit of this. If you're still unsure, a lot of this can be solved with trial and error. I'm a big proponent of trial and error now. I'm a much bigger proponent of training, so you know what it is that you need to do. But, I can't tell you how many trainings that I've been through that I don't remember hardly anything from because I didn't implement what it was that I learned after the training. If you don't implement what it is that you learn, if you're not using it, you lose it. If you don't use it, you lose it. I mean, we're all familiar with that terminology there. So, and what's completely different as well is once you have a little bit of experience, that same training that you might have went through has an entirely different meaning. I'm a big proponent of training, but training does nothing without action. So trial and error, we'll talk about, that's a different thing, but action is your number one priority. Taking actions that move you towards getting to that next level. Whether that's, okay, getting your first deal closed. Let's say that's the next level for you, which if you just got your real estate license, that's your next level. Your first level is, okay, get your real estate license. And we can break that down further, complete the course, get approved, go take your exam, pass the exam. But overall, that's just, okay, get your license. Now that you've got your license, what's that next level? What's the next thing it is that you need to do? And if you're starting to think of, okay, I got my license, what do I do? You could get pulled in 1,000 different directions. But once you start to say, okay, I need to sell something so I can make some money, now there's just a few things it is that you should be doing to try to find a client. And then now once you have that client, now we've got our next level here. Once you have the client, okay, now I need to go show them homes. I need to get their property listed, whatever that may be. So you have to constantly be thinking of, okay, what is it that I'm trying to achieve here? And now, once I understand what it is I'm trying to achieve, okay, now I can start doing some things that's going to help us achieve that. And you could constantly ask yourself the question, is that going to ultimately get us to achieve this goal? Is that going to ultimately get us to where it is that we're going? I want to give a quick shout out to Mark tuning in on YouTube. Mark, if you're still tuning in, I saw your comment a few minutes ago. But thanks for tuning in today. Glad to have you back on State of Real Estate. But yeah, so we talked a little bit about, okay, when you're first starting out in real estate, we talked a little bit about kind of taking your business to the next level. But what we're all boiling this down to is really taking actions. And sometimes in order to take an action, you have to make a decision. If you never make a decision to start, you're never going to achieve anything. If you think about getting a real estate license and you're like, oh, well, I'm not sure if I should get a real estate license. I could do this instead, or I could do that, or I could do this. You start weighing in all these different options. You haven't done anything. You're no closer to any one of these goals by just thinking about them. So, it's important to think, but think as you do. I'll say that again. Think as you do. So do something, and then as you're going through it, think about, okay, this is what I need to do now, this is what I need to do next. So the word decision, well, I'm talking about kind of that importance of the decision, making a decision. The better it is that you could get at making decisions, people get paid very highly for making decisions. CEOs of companies, that's really all it is that they do, is they make decisions. CEO of Apple, of Google, of Microsoft, of Amazon, of Netflix, of all these any company that has a CEO, that they have a CEO that's highly paid to make decisions. These CEOs, they're not in there building whatever it is that they're building, the software, the product, whatever it is. They're not the ones providing services. They're making the decisions. So making decisions is a very attractive skill for running a business. And the better it is you get at making decisions, the better it is that your business will progress. And sometimes you'll make a bad decision, but that's okay. The decisions that can be easily reversed or easily fixed, those are the ones that should have almost zero thought going into them. You just look at it quickly, 30 seconds, okay, that's our decision, that's what we're going to do. And that word decision, the root of it, I think Latin is kaidir, which kaidir means to cut. That's the scission. And that's where we kind of hear incision. You can see how these words are similar. Decision, incision, it means to cut. So what does choosing to do something have to do with cutting? Why is the root of that word that way? And the reason why decision, kaidir, it has that root of cut in there, it means that you're cutting yourself off from that option, from any other options. When you make a decision, you're cutting away any other options and you're going full steam ahead towards whatever option it is that you're making. If you're not burning your bridges, is another term people like it is that you hear a lot when people talk about that they made the decision, they're burning their bridges, they're going full speed ahead. That's really what a decision is. Now, you don't necessarily need to burn your bridges, but you've cut yourself away from these other options. Hey, I'm going to keep you maybe as a friend, as a acquaintance, as somebody I know, so that way I can sell your house to you and help you sell your house. But I'm not going back to doing whatever it is that I did. I'm not going back to whatever it is that I did before. You've cut yourself away. And until you truly decided that this is what I'm doing, this is the direction I'm going, once you've cut yourself off from these alternatives and saying I'm not even considering those alternatives anymore, I'm not considering doing this thing or that thing, I'm going all in on this decision. And if you think about that, if you give 50% to one decision and 50% to another decision, you'll probably end up with two things that don't pan out. But when you go 100% in something like real estate, so let's say you're thinking about starting a real estate career, when you decide to do it, what is it other than a waste of time of going through the classes, paying the money for applications and spending time studying and all that, if it's all for just getting your license and deciding, oh, no, that wasn't for me. This seems hard, so I don't want to do it. That's what making the decision is all about. And yes, it will be difficult at times. Yes, there'll be times where you won't know what to do. Yes, there will be times when you're overwhelmed. And yes, there will be times when you make bad decisions. But we've talked about this before when we've talked about farming a market area. When we're talking about farming an area and advertising to an area, we're not talking about advertising just once. When you've decided to farm to a particular farm area, you've made a decision. And when you've made that decision, you've cut yourself off of any other options except for dedicating your marketing efforts to that farm area. And I've said this before, don't give up on that farm area. Don't go do 2, 3, 4 advertisements, spend a few $1,000s and say, that farm area is bad, let's go try another one. Ride it out. Warren Buffett. So Warren Buffett on investing, his one rule is don't lose money. That's the secret to investing, don't lose money. If you can figure out how not to lose money, then investing's easy. But now, figuring out how to not lose money, that's the hard part. And that's essentially what it is that you're doing when you're giving up on a farm area. You're taking that loss. You're cutting your losses and running. That's losing money. So if we're talking about investing in stocks, maybe like Warren Buffett does, when he says don't lose money, that means if a company goes down, don't sell. Don't say, let me just lose only half of the money here instead of losing all of it. That's what the don't lose money is. It gets a little bit more in depth than that with stocks, but same thing you could apply when you're marketing to a particular area. Don't lose money. If you go put time and effort and money into advertising in a particular area, And you'd say after 6 months, I haven't got anything out of this. This is worthless. What am I going to do? Maybe it was month number 7 or month number 8 or month number 9 where you've got some business. Maybe it took a whole year for you to get some business, but that one deal it is that you close will probably cover your costs, and then that next deal it is that you get will probably put you in the green. You know, who knows? Maybe that first deal is big enough to put you in the green. So the point being, you need to have perseverance. You need to continue going along this path. Once you've made the decision that this is the direction it is that you're going, that this is what it is that you want to do, that's where you're going to have your best opportunity. If you look at the people that are, even people that are termed as overnight successes, I love hearing about overnight successes because what you find out, they started really understanding what it is that they're doing and they really started ramping things up. That's where they were deemed, oh wow, look, they're an overnight success. I mean, Amazon, a lot of people say, oh, Amazon, that's an overnight success. No, Jeff Bezos was in the 1990s on his garage floor packaging books. And it's funny, that there's a quote from him, I don't know if it's some biography or something where I picked this up, but he was packing books on the floor, and he's like, oh man, we need some knee pads here because my knees are getting sore from packing all these books on the floor. And one of his friends or employees or somebody that was there that was probably friends/employees, since he was doing this out of his garage, said, no, we don't need knee pads, we need a table. And they're like, ah, yes, the table. That just shows you somebody who's built one of the largest companies in the world, if not the largest company, the largest retailer in the world. I think they've hit that realm. The founder of the largest retailer in the world said, oh, let's just buy knee pads. That'll fix our problem with packaging these books. He didn't know enough just to buy a table. So that just goes to show you that you don't know what it is that you don't know when you're going into this unknown territory. But look at what that perseverance has done. It took him from packing books on the floor, dreaming of knee pads in his garage, to having the largest retailer in the world and completely revolutionizing the way people buy stuff. It's amazing how that changes there, but that's due to perseverance. It's amazing that you can go on your phone and order something and a few hours later it's there. That wasn't dreamed of when he was packing books on his floor. He had no idea that that's the way his business was going to look. He had no idea. He didn't have that much foresight. We like to think that, oh, he knew what he was doing all along. He was there packing books on his floor and said, someday I'm going to be delivering stuff to people the same day within hours of them ordering it. No. He didn't understand that end goal. He didn't know where it was that he was going, but he knew the direction it was that he wanted to go. And he made a decision. He cut himself off of all other options, said, hey, I'm going all in on Amazon. And if you look at these people that the Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates and Steve Jobs and all these people, they went all in on what it is that they're doing. They cut themselves off and focused their efforts on achieving that goal it is that they set and taking their business and their lives and so on and so forth to the next level. So really, I just want to sum up kind of, the moral of today. Because today, usually on State of Real Estate, we're talking about more details and more specifics about, if you want to list a house, this is how you kind of go through a listing presentation, that type of thing. But what we've been talking about today is so important to your mindset, really, to understanding that you're gonna feel overwhelmed when you're in this growth cycle, when you're in this transition period. There's gonna be times where it doesn't feel easy, but when it doesn't feel easy, that's what's usually leading up to having some success, having some wins. And then you start chalking up these wins and start trying to grab these little wins faster and faster and faster, and that's what helps take your business to the next level. So do yourself a favor and make yourself uncomfortable. Try to make yourself uncomfortable today. And maybe you're tuning into this and this is making you uncomfortable. I can understand that. Sometimes when you're hearing things that kind of go against what it is that you've been taught, to be comfortable, that's basic human nature, is to feel comfortable. But if you want to achieve success in anything, whether that's exercising or dieting or your business or your life or anything, you're going to have to get a little uncomfortable if you want something better. You know, the hardest time, the most difficult time is that moment of decision. When you're thinking about, oh, should I try this new thing that's unknown, or should I just stick with what I know? But it's trying those new things it is that are unknown, the things that you're not sure about, that's ultimately going to make you uncomfortable, but ultimately with enough perseverance, help build your success and help take you to that next level. So that's all I've got for you guys today. Again, implement this information. Make yourself uncomfortable today, this weekend, Monday, the rest of this year. The more it is that you start to make yourself uncomfortable, especially when you're focusing this uncomfortability around a certain task, that's where you're going to get better and better and better. Because once you start to get comfortable is where you know what you're doing. You're like, oh yeah, I could close a deal real quick, got a deal closed. That's not taking you to the next level. That's maintaining. You're plateauing. You're getting up here and you're kind of just riding it out. If you want to constantly be building your business and on that upward slope, that upward trend of generating more income, closing more deals, building your team larger, marketing more, advertising more, anytime you're looking for more, it's going to be uncomfortable. And the time you're spending thinking about these decisions, you could have easily have made this decision, maybe found out it didn't work and then tried the other way. So make decisions, make yourself uncomfortable, and always be pushing for that next level. That's all I've got for you guys today. Thank you for tuning in. Look, if you're looking at starting a real estate career, definitely check out our website, tampaschool.com, and you can also give us a call at 813-928-0106. We've got a post-licensing deadline coming up in March. We've got a few classes scheduled before that March deadline, so give us a call. We'd also get you enrolled in our online course if you need to do post-licensing, or again, if you're looking to get your license, we've got a whole step-by-step guide built right in on our website. And if you do want to see the full recording of today's broadcast, make sure you check out tampaschool.com/success. That's tampaschool.com/success. It's our Success Center. It's where we help you plan for success. You'll find the full recording of today's episode as well as all of the previous episodes. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you next week.
Are you thinking about a career in real estate? Hey, I'm John Chrisma with the Tampa School of Real Estate, and we've helped thousands of people just like you obtain their real estate license. If you're thinking about a career in real estate, give us a call. The phone number is 813-928-0106. Our advisors are standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way they can. Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com.
I have done for my love.
Hey, if you're enjoying the show today, which I'm sure you are, be sure to hit like, subscribe, post your comments, share with your friends and family. Thank you guys so much for watching.
You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate.